So welcome everyone to our open Q&A today. And I am not doing very well, so I'd love for us to start with a quick meditation. So we'll just put our hands in Gasho and we're going to set our intent that we're open to receive whatever it is that we need most at this moment in time. And then we're going to put our hands either face up or face down in our lap. And I just want you to do just some nice deep belly breaths, breathing in through your nose, pulling your breath deep into your belly, expand your belly, and on the out breath, release. And we're just going to continue this breath. And as you breathe and your breath connects to your belly, I want you to imagine there is a beautiful light at your belly. And as you breathe out, that light builds within you and starts to spread throughout your entire body. With every breath in, your light goes stronger, and every breath out, it fills your body and seeps into the space around you. Now, as you're breathing in and out, I'd like you to start feeling your body relax with your breath. Feel your shoulders start to droop, your throat softens, your jaw relaxes. Any tension you're carrying in your temples leaves your body. As you breathe in this beautiful, cool air, you breathe out all stress and tension. The light just pushes everything out of your body that no longer serves you. You're breathing in oxygen and life. And you're breathing out your beautiful healing light. Your true essence is filled with love and compassion, peace and joy. Whatever is happening in the outside world never affects your true essence, who you truly are. And just a couple more breaths. Just relaxing our whole body and melting into this beautiful light of which we are. And I'd like us to bring our hands into Gasho, and we're just going to set our intent that we're coming out of the meditation, but that we are going to keep this space, this beautiful healing space within us as we go throughout our day and into our night. And whenever you're ready, you can open up your eyes. And Mary Lynn has joined us. So, really quickly, I know, Liza, you had a quick question, and it's more, I don't have any experience in this area, but I'm hopeful that maybe someone else does that's on the call here. You have a situation where there are 5 of you sharing a space, yeah? And you wanted to add some more people to the space, is that the question? Oh, no, go ahead. So then go ahead and ask.
Okay, so there's a business already that exists called Collective Alchemist that my friend and her business partner have. They have a few practitioners, Reiki, and a massage therapist and a life coach. They also have crystals in their shop, herbs, because my one friend is also an herbalist on top of being a Reiki practitioner. So they have their space, Collective Alchemist. They're the ones that got me notified me about the space that was open behind them. So I have an office space for human Reiki upstairs behind them. There's another space that we call the classroom that they've just been squatting in for months because the landlord's been letting them. My friend teaches Reiki classes there. And then they started doing circles in there, Reiki circle, a drum circle, meditation circle, blah, blah. So they finally said, hey, are you guys going to continue using the space? If you are, you need to start renting it. So some of us gals, I do a meditation circle that they've been letting me do in there, and I'm going to add my own Reiki circle soon. So 5 of us are splitting the rent in that place. So we try once a week, once every other week to get together. Our goal is that by the end of the year, we'll have that place up and running. And when I say up and running, what our plan with it is, we're calling it the Collective Alchemist Classroom. We were going to be an umbrella underneath Collective Alchemist, the other business. Or sorry, they're the umbrella, we're under them. But right. That's not going to quite work because we don't want to be attached to that, I don't think. So this is what, so we're trying to figure out the business dynamics of everything, right? We split the rent. each of us is going to do our own things. Like I do a meditation circle. I'm going to have a Reiki share. I'm going to teach, I'm probably going to start teaching an Oracle class that'll only be, once a month or once every other month, whatever. And I figured that I can't do animal Reiki necessarily, but I could do the hour and a half, like Sarah classes in there, right? Where I'm doing informational classes about Sarah. So each of us is going to be doing our things, and we have a meeting and I take the minutes and send them out to everybody. And the questions have started coming up. Okay, well, to be a real business, we have to have, a business license. We have to have a bank account with an EIN. How do we make that kind of stuff? How do we do that with 5 of us, and
yeah, I think that just hearing this, and I'm hoping to hear from all of you too, because I'm sure you have some experiences. But my first thought is, I'm not sure creating an official business at this point is best. I think that each of you need to pay like a fee. Like I would have the collective people, that whatever that's called,
yeah,
pay for the room, and you all pay them as contractors. Oh,
can't work that way. No, that's a completely different business.
Oh, okay. So you guys,
so the 5 of us decided, in order to keep
okay.
that room, the 5 of us decided to split the rent on it.
Okay, so then it would probably be better if one of you rented the room and then sublet it out to different people. So like, let's say, Liza, if it's your room,
right,
then it's your room, because it's too hard with 5 different people. You all got 5 different things, too many moving pieces. There's no one person
right,
who can say, hey, get out or whatever. So I think if someone takes ownership of that room, then you can, hey, Olive, thank you for joining us. So then you can then say, all right, here's our schedule, pick the dates that you want. And then there's one person. And I don't know if you have time to take that on, or if somebody else out of the 5 would take that on, but that would be my suggestion, is one person controls the room. And then, because if you all 5 do a business together, that is such a huge headache. You have to an attorney, you have to, I don't know. So I will open this up for comments now.
I will add just really quick that the part about, offering the space to other people, what I meant by that is, so the 5 of us, it's our business, right? We're on top of us each doing our own circles and classes and all that stuff.
Right.
The extra time that we have, we're renting it out to other people. Like there's a spirit fair, 3 spirit fairs coming up in the next 2 months that we're renting the space out. So
yeah. So again, one person doing that is better than 5 people, because whose name does a bank account go under? Who is in charge? And also it's a legal nightmare, because you will have to get an attorney involved, and that's very expensive. Whereas if one person takes this on, and it is a lot of work for one person, but maybe some people could help for a discounted rate in the room, right? So like if you help do the accounting, then you get a 30% discount on the rent for the month, right?
Right.
There's different ways to do that. And since you guys are also renting it out to other people, having that is a logistic nightmare in a way, because one has to. But if the other people can agree to help in order for discounted rent, then that could be another, like if somebody wants to be in charge of renting the space out, but you have to be really good at having a calendar, and making sure that nobody rents out during a time when other people are there. I think that's the second biggest issue, is making sure that everyone is following the same calendaring system. And that, but yeah, I would break it up. I'd still keep it with 5 people having responsibilities, but maybe you guys can say, okay, here's the rent. And then, here's what we have to do, but here's what each of us should pay. And, and if a fair comes in and pays for the rent, right, you can just say, okay, well, I'll give you a credit for the next, whatever that is. But again, it's a lot for accounting. So, let's open this up. Go ahead and unmute yourself and offer any kind of advice. Darlene, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it's like, I don't have personal experience going into business with multiple people, but I do know that it can be a hard time. I mean, yeah, you're all friends now, but when business starts, that's a whole different ballgame. You get 5 people involved, and then you get one person that, you know, is not happy. And then, I mean, it just can be a logistical, legal nightmare, because then you want to get that one person off. And I mean, it just, a lot of things happen with friendships when you go into business together. You all go in with good intentions, but a lot of times, you know, I mean, yeah, there are times that it does work out, but the instances that they don't work out, then it just becomes a nightmare. So I would just kind of stick maybe to 1 or 2 people, and, you know, determining who that 1 or 2, you know, people are to take the lead. Uh, but again, I mean, if you want to pay for an attorney to have clauses in your business that if somebody wants to leave, I mean, again, then you're paying legal fees for that. So, and then applying for an employee ID number, I mean, that's simple to do. I mean, you can just go out and apply for that. So that's a real simple process.
But you also want to make sure that you're asking to be taxed at a reduced rate, because when you get your EIN, you have to say, I want to be taxed at a 15% rate as opposed to a 28% rate. And you have to fill out a certain form for the IRS. So otherwise you get charged. And I didn't know that when I started my One Bake Smart business. And so we get taxed at 28%, which we could have been being taxed at 15%. So, you know, when you get your EIN, there are some ins and outs to know about that so that you can save yourself some taxes. But yeah, it's super easy to get, and always ask for it to be sent to you electronically. Do not ask for it to be mailed.
The 15% is because
it's if you say you're like, I was an LLC, and if you want to say you want to be taxed at the rate, I think, of an S Corp. I think that's what it is. I'd have to look at my notes and get back to you, Liza, when you're ready.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
So anybody else have something to?
And thank you, Darlene.
Oh my gosh, Angela's dog. I don't know if you guys have seen that movie Cruella. It's so cute. But Angie's dog looks like Blink have you seen Cruella, Angela? Oh, looks just like Blink. It's the cutest dog ever. And the dog deserved an Oscar in the movie Cruella. You guys should watch it just for the little dog. It was just adorable. But her little face looks like Blink. So anyway, so does anyone else have something else to share with Liza? Mary Lynn, did you, or Olive or Angela? No. Okay. So yeah, so I think that's really what you might want to think about doing, and be sure not to take on too much yourself, because it becomes a headache. And, you know, just talking with the 5 of you, saying who has the bandwidth to take this on.
Yeah.
Because it's still the same format, you know, everybody's going to be involved and participating, but only one person can take the lead.
Right. Yeah, it's already, I'm taking the minutes because that's just something I have. I'm not like an expert, but I definitely have experience having been in the corporate world. And I took the minutes at this last meeting. Every AR, which is an action required item, is on me except for one of them. I'm like, how did I do that?
No.
So yeah,
no,
I really need to get back and take a look at that.
In fact, you can go back and say, you know what, I took on too much. This is becoming too much. Because other people will let you, right?
Right.
And that's the challenge with any business, you know, when you have partners, that's the challenge. So
yeah. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate your input.
So Olive, welcome. We haven't seen you before. I haven't, at least. And so do you have any questions that you came with today?
Hi, everybody. Since I'm new to the group, I am in listening mode to find out what we're actually talking about. Mm-hmm. And I am interested in how the different practitioners have, well, that was really good what Lisa was talking about, because, you know, I've met a few people, but they're not all Animal Reiki people. One is, she does sound therapy, and another is, she is a massage therapist, but she's interested in, you know, the Let Animals Lead program. So we've been talking, well, they share space. They share space in a beautiful yoga studio, and which has all these different rooms. So I was asking them about that. And they said, well, they share the room, the two of them, you know, and they're both on the rental agreement as well. I don't want to say their names publicly, but it's blah, blah, or blah, blah. So
Right.
they're both, instead of the and, or, I don't know if Lisa did that or not when she was talking about, they just did an or. So both of them are responsible if something happens to them, you know, the rent, they do have to pay rent, although both of them are donation based. So this is kind of interesting. It's very interesting, their setup. But so I was just talking to them about it, but I don't know as far as a practice goes, if I'm really want to set up as a business or negotiate with businesses like our vet and a few other people. I'm also a canine massage therapist, and what I did was that was strictly referral. So I was always at someone's house or some, you know, someone's. I actually went to a business one time and did Reiki with her senior dog, and that was really different, but it was wonderful. So I've just been talking about possibly sharing space with these two people. They seem really on the ball. I don't know about the business details. Since I did this as a volunteer, I didn't do canine therapy as a business because I'm a retired person. This is my way of giving back. But if I needed to, I could do this as a business. So that's kind of where I'm at with locations and stuff. Is it's just kind of interesting how it worked out. That talking to these two who know each other and shared this room, beautiful, open, lovely room, cushions and all the yoga things, and lovely. And so they were, you know, kind of thinking about a third person, and I go, well, although I'm studying human Reiki, I don't plan to do human Reiki. I am absolutely focused on working with animals. And they thought they have clients. The massage therapist has clients who brings her dog. Well, she actually has two dogs to her massage practice. So I thought, well, that could be interesting. And maybe sometime if she was willing and talk to the owners, I could do a Reiki with the dogs. She could charge whatever her fee is if she gets their permission. I don't know what you think about that, but it would be a good experiment, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that too, with Animal Reiki, it's very hard to have a location because the dogs, cats, whatever. I mean, obviously sometimes cats aren't going to come in, horses, you know, all these things. So it's very hard to have a stationary spot. But having said that, I think asking them if you could do an intro to Animal Reiki talk, so people could understand what Animal Reiki was. And then that way, if someone does come on with their pet or their animal companion, and they're like, oh, I would love to get a massage and then have my animal get Reiki, you could sit in the room and offer Reiki as well. That could be one choice, or you could just get their names and then either go to their house or do a distant treatment with them, you know, whatever that looks like to you. I know a lot of people nowadays, especially it's hard to go to people's homes, you know, that's a little bit uncomfortable sometimes. So I was making sure you feel safe and it's a good referral and you know the person. Yeah, but I think that it's really hard to go, oh yeah, I'm going to get a space. I know people who have done that in the past. They didn't really, but and also a lot of people who do an actual business space, they do human Reiki. So it makes a lot more sense, like what Liza's doing. You know, she's doing human Reiki as well. So that makes a lot of sense. But when you do human Reiki as well, you can say, you can bring your animal in, you know, and the animal can get it too. But yeah, I think for you, probably taking on a space is probably more than you want right now.
Yeah, it's just a different idea.
Yeah.
About, you know, I'm level 2. I'm just finishing level 2 with Kathleen. So I'm now putting myself out there into the practitioner environment. And I like these ideas from everyone else because it gives me a lot to think about. But I think the introduction that might be very interesting if I could figure out how to set that up. I would like to do it with these two people that bring their dogs to massage therapy.
Yeah.
And I will talk to my two friends and see what they say, if that could be something they would be willing to arrange. Because I can do, chair Reiki on people
Mhm.
and offer Reiki to the humans with their animals also. But I also don't want to infringe on the yoga teacher and the massage therapist, although the massage therapist does every kind of massage you can
Really,
think about.
yeah.
And but that would be an interesting approach. I'll ask them.
Yeah, I think that, starting off with an intro and then having a list of services that you would be willing to offer, like the distance sessions or coming to your home, that's actually a really good start. But I always encourage people, if you have an intro class, if you want to get students, then you should have a class scheduled. If you want to get clients, then you need to have information for them that you can give to them that has your pricing, your travel time, all of those fun things. And I think that Kathleen's got in her book like a release form and other ways. So yeah.
She's got a lot of materials for us to use once we branch out. But I actually am used to going to people's homes. The dogs that I actually work with horses, but the dogs that I worked with were all terminal cancer patients. I'm kind of specialized in that area. So I guess maybe I have a lot to think about. That would be an interesting approach. And thank you for that. I appreciate that, Leah.
Yeah. And also working with a vet too. If terminal illness is your thing, I know that we have a vet in the Shelter Animal Reiki Association, Mark Malik, and he talks about, having Reiki as a support system when nothing else, when it is a terminal situation and there's nothing else, or even when it's not terminal and nothing else is working, Reiki can sometimes bring about a deep healing. So I think, also reaching out to your vets is a wonderful idea.
That's a good idea. I did sit in their lobby once. I asked my vet, I've known my vet for a really long time, and explained to her what I was studying. And I wondered if I could sit in her lobby, as the dogs came in. And I actually had a dog that came in high anxiety. And I just learning how to do Reiki with my eyes open. That's kind of a challenge. It really is. But it was really interesting. And the dog was very anxious. The vets, the waiting room is there's always a lot of anxiety for the dogs. And I feel that. It was a good experiment. And I didn't know that my vet was watching me. But she had heard of this and she was supportive on some level. As I'm not interfering with her practice.
Right.
That's like the number one, don't interfere with their practice. But she let me try it out. And I didn't ask her for any follow-up things, because I really was only level 1 at the time that I did that, and did not feel that confidence about being really at a practitioner level. I felt more like a beginner.
I mean, we've all been there. We've all been there.
Anyways, thank you for the advice, and thank you, Lisa, for your information. That's very, very helpful in working with other people.
Well, thank you so much, Olive. And we've all been there in that awkward situation, but now that you're level 2, you can go back and maybe sit and you'd feel more confident. But and it's also very challenging to meditate with your eyes open. I always close my eyes. So it's very, just looking down sometimes is helpful. But we feel your pain. So Angela, Angela's leaving. Marilyn, did you have, or Angela's back. Did you have a question?
No, I was just going to ask Olive if she was going to form a LLC, because I'm not a business person, and I did form a LLC, and I have a little logo, and I just thought it would be just beneficial to protect myself and
protect your finances.
And
I don't have any of that yet. I think there's a class that Kathleen told me to take where you can develop a symbol for yourself. And it's the practice of like a working curriculum where you put together the pieces of things. And I'm the kind of person, I need that kind of help. So, but I love that. I love the idea of making a logo for my work and a really nice business card. and that kind of, I'm sure you've all done that, but I haven't done it yet, but I'm excited about doing it. So
Yeah,
thank
go
you for
on
bringing that
Go
up.
on Canva. Canva is really great. You can make a business card, you can make a logo. You it's really cheap to print with them. You can make brochures. I know Liza's done it. I've done it. We've done it with Sarah. You want to? So yeah, canva.com. Yeah. Oh yeah. See, like there's Liza's got her her little brochure that she did on Canva.
Nice.
It's very user friendly.
Nice.
It's canva.com.
Yep. Absolutely.
We have a close up of Lisa's brochure.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Liza, can you let me see?
Make her-
Well, if you take your view off of gallery and put it on speaker, and then we can have Liza talk, and when she talks, because right now it's me. Liza, if you unmute yourself and talk, it'll go on you, and then you can put your brochure up to the camera. Or I can pin you. I don't know if I think if I pin you, it's only on my screen. Let me see. Oh, spotlight for everyone. Okay, now you can put your brochure up to the camera. Yeah, there you go. So you can see, yeah, bring it up just a little bit, Liza, so we can be, oh no, bring it up, like push. She can't get off mute for some reason. Oh, well, we can come back. Let's come back. You get that figured out. I thought I had hers. I'll look for it. So let's go. Let me go back and remove spotlight.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, I couldn't see anything. I was like,
Oh.
something else. So
Okay.
sorry about that.
Oh, great.
So yeah, can you guys see it?
Yes.
Okay, so there's one side, I've got, the front with that's my logo. Oops, sorry. And then me and my dog, one of my dogs. And then on the back side of it, when it's all folded up, there's my about me.
And then your
And
connection,
what
like how to
they can do.
connect with you.
Yep, with my contact information.
And what's on that third panel, the purple one? What's on that? Yeah.
This one on the back?
Yes. What's that one? Yeah.
That's what can Reiki
Oh, what?
do.
Okay. What can Reiki do? Perfect.
Yep. And then on the inside, if you open it up, then there's what is Reiki, right?
Mhm.
And what does it say there? It's
What is
back
the difference between Reiki for humans and then
Oh, yeah.
gods?
in animals.
Let
Yep.
animals
And then
lead.
Animal Reiki classes.
Your meditation
and
circle.
meditation circle that I have. Anyways, yeah, I'm not super savvy with this kind of stuff, but I got on Canva and I did this whole thing by myself.
It's
And it-
awesome.
Maybe
Yeah.
maybe 2.5 hours, and that's because I didn't know how to do anything. If I was savvy, and now that I've done it, I can probably do it a lot quicker.
Oh, absolutely. And there's lots of YouTubes on that you can get that'll teach you how to use Canva, but it's very user friendly. But there's lots of tutorials out there, and you can get the free program, or you can pay, I think it's $14 or $15 a month, and you get like the stock photos and all of that. But I've done a lot of creations on Canva. I made a really pretty CBD guide with all kinds of information about CBD. I've made an introduction to Animal Reiki guide on there. So yeah. And I'm happy. I think Jamie and I were talking about selling our Animal Reiki for Reiki Practitioners guide, changing some of the photos to be stock, and then letting people buy it for $15. And then you can edit it and put your own photos in there and use it. Because, it's a really great, and it goes on the Let Animals Lead, and it gives like some reflections and stuff. So it's a great little primer to have if you're going to do an intro class, so that people can kind of ride along with you. And that always helps.
Can I share my logo?
Well, of course you can. Here, let me.
It's on my phone. I don't have it, but I can.
Yeah, let's see. I got to make you a spotlight for everyone. Okay, there you go.
If you can see it.
Yes, it's a spirit, and it's got a horse and
Yeah,
it's got a cat.
Spirit Rising. It's really pretty. It's in blue and gold, so you can't see it.
Yeah, but we can see the horse.
Yeah.
Spirit.
Yeah, it has feathers and stars, and
Oh,
I'll
wow.
try and get a black and white and show. Yeah, because I am a level 2 Reiki practitioner, but my focus really is going to be animals, and I volunteer at a horse rescue and then the animal shelter. So, animals are my passion.
Oh, yay.
And
I love that, Angela. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I'm so excited for you. And I'm very excited that you get to work with horses, because horses are the best teachers. They're
Mhm.
just amazing. So you're very, very blessed. But yeah, I love that. So yeah, Canva is a great place. And Jamie's on vacation today, but Jamie and I are always happy to answer questions about what we've done, and give you resources that we've used in the past. And again, like, we're going to sell that introduction for $15, and you can just reuse it, put your name on it, because we'll give you the template on Canva. So you just go on there and you just start plugging in your name, and you don't have to worry about any of the information, because it's all there, what needs to be
Ooh.
covered. So I can show it to you if you want to see it really fast.
Yeah. I would. Yes, please.
Let's see, intro. Oh wait, I just should go to animal bonds, but we'll see if it'll bring it up here. No, of course not. So animal bonds and introduction to Animal Reiki, and there we go. Okay. And let me share this with all of you. So here is, let me make this a little bit bigger. I don't know why this isn't letting me, got a lag of some sort. So let me make it a little smaller so you can see the front. So this is the first
Oh.
page, Introduction to Animal Reiki, a step-by-step guide to supporting your animals. And of course, we would take this name off. You could put your name there, right? And your logo would go right here, whatever that is. And then, hello and welcome. We are so happy in our mission, and you can kind of change that, but really you could change it to I, right? Because we're just talking generally. We say what our experience is, you would just replace that. And it's super easy in Canva. If you guys wanted to, we can always have a little Canva tutorial at our next call. That's only take a few minutes. And then what is Animal Reiki, right? That would stay the same. And then you would change the copyright too. That would be different. And then the 6 pillars, we've already explained them here for you. We've got the 6 pillars graphic, a reflection. So this is take some time and reflect on it. So when you're doing your intro, you can say, let's just take a moment and reflect on what these might mean to you. And then there's some notes, 3 reasons we meditate with animals. And then we give the 3. And then the Joshin Kokyoho breath of light. So you can teach that. The smiling meditation, which is just basically you teach people to do a breath, right? They're breathing.
Right.
And then you say, okay, now think of something that makes you really happy and smile, 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 smile big, right? And you can feel the people, when you do the smiling meditation, they feel their hearts become lighter. And then you say, okay, now go back to neutral. And when you go back to neutral, when you stop smiling, your heart goes heavy. So you just do that a couple times with them so they can understand how important it is for us to have joy in our life and how meditation brings that, right? So it's a very simple meditation. And then all is well, just doing that daily mantra. So this is Jamie, but we would change that out to a stock photo, and then more notes, and the Animal Reiki session, what it looks like and what you can do with that. And then tips for a successful meditation, how to start, what happens, how to let go of expectations. And then for your students, their goals and visions, more notes, and then ways you can make this practice a habit. So we just give little things like, do some form of meditation every day. And then thank you. And that's my little dog Titus, who has since passed. And then, you can change this as well. And you would change these. And so that's what we have. If you're interested, we can customize that for you, or just give it to you and you can customize it yourself. But yeah, it's a really great little guide. And I did that all in Canva.
Wow, very nice.
So yeah,
Very
you can see that on Canva, you can do some really cool things, and it's not hard to add like boxes. They have forms already set up. So yeah, something kind of exciting. And if you are interested, you know, of course, Jamie and I are always happy to share how we did it and how we can help you do it as well.
Mm.
So yeah.
Mm.
So
I would
Yeah.
be interested in adapting that to inform people, potential clients.
absolutely. So what you could do is you could take out the reflection pages and the note pages. Once it's yours, you can start removing pages very easily, especially when it's a PDF. You can, I mean, obviously you want to fix the page numbers, or maybe you don't have page numbers on it. You just take that out and have that, like, this is what a typical animal Reiki session looks like. This is what to expect, you know, as the practitioner. But this is more for, this is less about the clients, and this is more about for practitioners, right? So if you're teaching people, or, you know, if you're teaching an intro, these are people who want to be able to help their animals. But you could take some of that information and put it in a brochure to give to people who are interested in just knowing what it is that you do. Especially the why we meditate with animals. People don't really understand that. You can tell, you know, because it brings peace to the animal, peace to yourself. You know, it's a stabilizing and strengthening practice, and animals respond really well to it. Look at Liza's dog. Oh my God. That, and then the other one's like, Mom, my turn to snuggle. Oh my God, look at how cute. Oh, and then there's a third one.
Oh,
Look at that one. He's just like, oh, please, please, please.
yeah. My dog, Liza, is just like yours there. He's similar in appearance, but behavior, he's all about, he wants attention like most all the time. And if I spend, in his estimation, if I spend too much time on this or on the phone, oh, he tells me he wants me off. Yeah.
That's too cute.
This one, if she could
Just like-
merge with me and be one, you know, which, you know, on another level we could, right? But that's what she wants to do all the time. Except for when we're in bed, she just lays on the pillow next to me and she's totally fine and doesn't push on me. But this, she follows me everywhere. Yeah, she's pretty awesome though. Scarlet.
Scarlet?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
very
do
cute.
we have any more questions, or? Yeah,
I
Mary
do.
Lynn.
Yes, I
great.
have a quickie. What does
Yeah.
LLC mean?
A limited liability company. So when we form an LLC, and it's very easy to do, different states charge different prices. So in California, if you form an LLC, the price, the yearly fee, the yearly taxes, I think are $800. If you form it in Oregon, it's not, I think it's $100, and that's it. So, you know, depending on where you are, there's different fees. But the reason an LLC is such a great entity is because your personal finances are not exposed. So for me right now, I'm selling my one ancillary cannabis business. And if that incurs debt or anything, it doesn't affect me personally. It's, if the company is broke, that's the only thing they can go after the company. They can't go after me personally. And that's a huge protection. But when you form an LLC and you get your EIN, because you're going to want an EIN because you want the company to have its own tax ID, fair number, and you go get your bank account. You want to, when you're filling out the EIN form, to say that you want to be taxed as an S Corp. But when you do that, you also have to file a form, and I can't remember what that form number is. It's like 83 something, an IRS form saying that you want to be taxed as an S Corp. And that saves you a lot in taxes, especially because you're contract work, right? So you're going to be bringing in money. You don't want to be paying 28% in taxes. You want to only be paying 15% in taxes.
And
So
that's called taxed as S.
as an S corp. I think I'm going to have to look at my notes. I don't know. You can, please don't quote me, but you can look at it. You can say, if I'm an
Okay.
LLC, how do I get taxed at a cheaper rate? And it will usually, you can find something. Or when I'm choosing my EIN, how do I choose a cheaper rate? It'll say, you know, choose S corp. But again, you have to search on the internet, because that you have to file that form. Otherwise, if the IRS doesn't get that form within like a month of you getting your EIN, they'll tax you at a regular rate. Now, I think you can argue with the IRS, but they're so impossible to get a hold of now. It's just better to do it right.
Yes. And my other question is about licensing, Reiki and licensing.
Mhm.
Here in Vermont, there is you fill out an application, and last time I looked, which is probably 8 months ago, it was $100 for the license.
That's a business license?
Yeah, well, it's a yes, a license for practicing Reiki.
Okay. Okay. And so
Business-
what is your,
yeah.
so what is your question?
So I guess that's important to do.
Yeah, you kind of have to figure out what your laws are in your state. Like in Florida, I don't think that you can touch people anymore. They're having some weird thing going on with Reiki in Florida, maybe in Pennsylvania as well.
Not
But
surprised.
yeah, but in Vermont, I don't think that's an issue. This just must be something, if you want to have, I would talk to Kelly about that, because
Okay.
Kelly knows.
Yeah.
So Kelly is Mary Lynn's teacher. She lives in Vermont. And so Kelly will know about a special license. Like for me in Oregon, I don't have that. I don't think Kathleen does in California. Just different states have different requirements. But as far as like, if you want to be a licensed animal Reiki practitioner, then that's different, you know, right? When we graduate from the
Right.
Let Animals Lead method of animal Reiki, we are we're graduating with you know, we're now certified as teachers, but the licensing program to teach like online is different. So there's different licensing. If you take a class in person, you're licensed to teach in person. If you take, you know, you can take Kathleen's online classes or mine, but that doesn't make you licensed to teach online until you take her online course to have that certification. So yeah, so those are the licenses and certifications. But as far as Vermont goes, yeah, I would ask Kelly about that, because I know Kelly's got a licenses on her signature page on her email.
Okay, because this for me is to practice, in order to
Okay.
practice. Yeah.
Yeah.
And not get put in jail.
Yeah. So yeah, different states have different rules. And it's
Yeah.
really important to see what's going on in your state. Also, when we're doing animal Reiki, some of those rules don't really apply to us, because we're not touching people and we're really not even touching the animals. So it's just a meditation base, but you know, you might have to argue that because you have Reiki in your name, and or you're practicing animal Reiki, and then people go, well, it's Reiki, you're touching, and we have to say no. And yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Of course. Any other questions?
I don't have a question, but I just wanted to share a business card that I did even before I.
Oh yeah, you have a really cute one. Here, let me make you, let me, how do I do this? Oh, it's right here. That's right. Spotlight. Okay, there you go, Charlie.
So I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah, we can see it. Just hold still for a
Oh.
sec. Yeah, that was really cute.
Oh,
Touching
very
heart of animal
cute.
Reiki. I thought that was really sweet. I loved that.
So I did
Yeah,
that.
thanks for sharing that.
Vista
Yeah.
printer, so.
And you can make cards like that on Canva. They have all kinds of templates. You know, you can put business card animals, and then you'll get a bunch of templates that have animals in that, and that'll help you. But yeah, and I've done printing through them on postcards. I've made postcards for my other business and business cards. and they're super fast and they're not expensive. I mean, they're cheaper than Zazzle and they're cheaper than got it, that other print place, Vistaprint. So yeah, I highly recommend them. Yeah.
Oh, something did occur to me. When we do design, or when we do create a business name,
Mhm.
is there any kind of patent work?
No, you just go to your Secretary of State in your state. So you go to the Secretary of State website. The business, well, actually, it's not the Secretary of State necessarily. It's a part of that, but it's the business portal of your state. And you search, you do a name search. So if your business name, you want to be like Reiki for animals, then you would do a quick business search for that, and you'll see it'll bring up a list of any businesses that are registered with the state that have that exact name or a name similar. So that's how you find out whether or not somebody else is using the name that you want to use. It's always, and that's why it's really important to register, to become an LLC, to register it with your state, so that then your name is also, on the list, and somebody won't take your name. But there's not really a trademarking of your name unless your name is very unique and you want to, and a trademark is about $900, and trademarks are difficult. I mean, it's a long process to get one. So it's usually a good idea to get an attorney to do that. I think it's about $1,300 to get a trademark on a name.
Oh, is that what everyone has done?
No,
No.
No.
Oh,
that's overkill.
okay,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
no one,
What is
only Kathleen only did that for let animals lead method. And then we did it for Reiki to the rescue years ago, but we let that one pass. So yeah.
Okay.
Anyway.
And one other question, what is the sequence of what to do when you're creating a business?
Oh, sweetheart, we don't have time.
Oh.
That's a long checklist. I mean, if you're going to be forming a business, and you can even just look in your state, Marilyn, that's what I would do. And I would, because every state's going to be different. And there is a checklist. Just Google checklist for forming a business in Vermont. And then you'll get a long list of all the things. Cause yeah, it's too detailed for me to do right now. That's a whole nother, would be a talk on that. But yeah, cause you're going to want to, form your LLC, get your EIN, register with the state, and with your local city, cause you're going to have to pay city taxes on whatever you bring in. And, and I would always suggest consulting with an accountant, because an accountant will be the one that says, if you want to get taxed at a lesser rate, do this. There's a really wonderful group called SCORE. It's SCORE, and they're across the nation. And if you want a business mentor, so maybe you need an accountant, you can go to SCORE and tell them what you're doing, and they'll get you somebody who is a seasoned business person to mentor you. And that's where I found my business mentor, Yossi. He buys and sells businesses that are $100 million. And he helped me a lot in my business. I didn't need help forming it, but I needed help in running it. And he helped me a lot. And now his son is helping me sell the business. So yeah, SCORE is really great. It's free. You don't have to pay for anybody, and you get lots of great advice. And you could get different types of experts. You can get an accountant, a lawyer, how to run a business, somebody who has maybe who has had a successful yoga business or a massage business, and they could help you, decide what you should do for marketing and things like that. So yeah, there's lots of free resources out there. And even starting a business, go to your another thing to do is go to your local chamber of commerce and tell them you want to start a business, and they usually have free resources for you. So I know we're coming to the end, and I want to give Liza, she had one more question.
I just wanted to share a story really quick.
Oh yeah, of course, please.
So I recently had a new client, which was the client that I sent you the question about for last week. I wasn't able to make, and thank you both, you and Jamie and everybody else that had input about my question for that client. So she has a cat, Deja Vu is his name, and he's 16 or 17. And I met her, she came and stopped. She's like, I don't know why, but I never go to the farmer's market. But that day she said, I just decided I needed to go for some reason. I met her there. She saw my brochure and she asked about Animal Reiki, and she's like, well, can you tell me a little more? And I explained the whole thing about let animals lead and everything. And I said, yeah, and I have 9 animals at home. And she's like, okay, so you really are the real deal then? I'm like, yeah. And so she scheduled a session, 4 sessions with me. I did 3 days in a row. We had to skip one day and then we did another day. So Deja Vu is, like I said, 16 or 17. He has, they call it a triple heart murmur, and they're pretty sure he has pancreatic cancer. He hasn't been eating or drinking, and has been really restless. And so day 1, I go, and he's super talkative, and mom is like catering. I guess it seems like maybe this is something they do a lot. I never asked, but it just seemed like, so they kept getting up when I was doing the session. I was just sitting on the floor in the back corner of the living room, and he'd cry, and she'd get up and they'd walk in the other room and do this and that. And by the end of the first session, he was laying on her shoulder. Sorry, Mila, honey, laying on her shoulder and sleeping. Day
Aww.
2, he ended up being like across the room and got up and went in the other room a little bit and then came back, and he would be up a little bit and do circles and then lay down. And then he ended up on the couch next to mom. Day 3, he was on the couch with mom the whole time and was very mellow. And then day 4, I ended up being with him by himself for most of that. And he once got up and went in the other room and then came back and lied down the whole time. And then, so feedback that I got from mom was after day 1, she's like, he slept through the night, which he has not done in so long. And then she was telling me that he was being more affectionate, which he had not been doing. Oh, and another thing, they had a second cat that I didn't know anything about that was never in the house. And on day 2, when I went to leave their house, this cat is sitting outside. And I'm like, the next day when I came, I said, there's a cat that I saw outside. Is that your cat? She's like, oh yeah. And I'm like, well, he was a little interested. And on the final day, that cat, they had their front door open with just the screen door closed, because on all the other days, the front door was completely closed. So I couldn't see outside. And the cat was sitting outside the screen door, like wanting to come in and was curious. Thank you. No, thank you. But this morning last night I sent her a message just to check in to see how she and Deja Vu were doing. And this morning she sent me a text that said, I'm good in no small part because Deja Vu has become much calmer and happier and a bit more openly affectionate and continues to eat well.
Wow.
He had to have some fluid drained. So for some time he will also be a lighter cat. So I just wanted to share that so that,
Well, I'm so glad you did, because so this is a great time for us to really talk about when we do 4 in a row. And there's a reason we do 4 in a row, because you can see Deja Vu when we first come, they don't know us, even if they do know us sometimes, but you're coming to do this Reiki treatment, like the sharing of space, the meditation, and they don't know you. So they're really kind of testing what's going on, what's happening. This might feel really good, but they're still like, I don't, but it doesn't mean, and I love, this happens all the time, right? Deja Vu, the first visit, did not act like Deja Vu was taking Reiki. Yes, he ended up here at the very end, but throughout it, he's moving, right? And you're thinking, okay, but he did take a lot, because then that night he sleeps through the night. That's the first time, right? Then the second time, I'm assuming, did he talk a little bit on
No, he never talked again.
Okay, that's good. So then he calms down a little bit more. And then by the 3rd and 4th, it's why we have to do these 4, because it really supports them. And when an animal feels supported, when they feel like they are seen, they are heard, right? They are important, they're being listened to, that makes a huge difference. I mean, you know, it's all energy. It's all an emotional support. It is what we do. Everybody, you know, you can have like deja vu. He had a really nice mom. He had a beautiful house. He was supported. He had all these things, but his emotional needs weren't being met because both people don't know how to do what we do. And they don't know how to support even our own animals. It's very hard to support their emotional needs because we get a little bit thrown off by things. But we have to remember that what we're offering is so incredibly helpful and important to the animals, because deja vu now is completely different. After just 4 sessions, it's really quite, and he'll probably might need like a little booster at some point. But you know, I just love hearing that because it's so typical. That's what you'll see in the shelter too. You go sit with a stressed out dog. The dog's going to be really stressed out. The second time, a little less stressed out. The third time, not stressed out that much at all. Fourth time, not stressed out at all, right? So it's so important for us to keep that 4. And if you can't do 4 in person, you do 4, you know, distant. But it's really making them feel supported and supporting that emotional need that they have to let go of certain things. You know, we have no idea what's going on with deja vu, but what we do know was that deja vu felt supported during those sessions. Important, right? Oh, this is just for me. Nobody's asking anything of me. It's just, I know this is for me. She keeps coming back for me, yet she's not making me do anything. And so you're building trust. You're building that deepening confidence within the animal, right? Okay, I am in charge here. And so it's really, it's emotional when you think about this beautiful gift that we have the ability to give to the animals and to the people, because now the people are less stressed out by what's happening. Now they can see their animal is starting to heal and starting to let go and like become more affectionate or sleep through the night. So really, you know, we have to put so much importance on what we do, and it helps us to sell it when we can deeply believe that what we have is a gift and other people are not offering it. Even other animal Reiki practitioners aren't offering this, because most schools are teaching we're beaming, or we're using hands, or we're focusing on what's wrong, or we're focusing on the chakra system. Again, focusing on the chakra system, you're out of balance. I need to put you back into balance. I'm the healer. You're the poor, sick animal. I'm here, you're here. When the reality is, even when they're sick, we're here, they're here. We're just coming up to their level by letting go of all of our stuff and just creating this beautiful space of support and love and joy, right? And always remembering, and I know you're a really joyful person, Liza, but when we go to do these sessions, you know, we always want to be like, okay, this is really serious. And the animals are like, okay, go with joy. Just, I'm so excited to be here with you. I am so honored, and this is going to be so wonderful, and be happy, because you can imagine, do you want to sit next to the happy Reiki lady, or do you want to sit next to the lady who's like, okay, this is very serious. We're going to go very deep. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, have joy in your heart. And I learned that from my friend Taya Strom, who is an amazing animal communicator. She spoke to Sarah a couple times. She is so talented, but she said, you know, go to animals with love in your heart. Always have joy. Always make them feel like they're safe and it's happy. Because, you know, for us, you want to be with, what did my ex-husband used to say, like the Muppets, that he said, that's what you look like. And I go, oh my God, you're right. I gotta bring the joy. So ladies, we are at the end of our time. We did the meditation, Olive and Mary Lynn, we did the meditation at the very beginning, so you can go back to YouTube and listen to that. But we'll do a meditation every single time. Olive, thank you so much for joining us. We're so honored to have you. And ladies, Angela and Mary Lynn and Darlene and Liza, thank you so much for your questions.
Yeah.
It's been
Great.
Great. Good
Nice to meet you, Leah.
everybody.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
nice to meet
Everybody.
you, Olive. Thank
Nice
you
to
so
See
much.
you
meet you.
tonight.
Bye. See
Thank
you
you
tonight,
all.
Angela. Bye, darling. See you tonight. Bye.
Bye.